Alrighty, fellas. Yo, what's up? Good morning. My name is Patrouski. Welcome back to PokeMMO, the PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, communication, discussion, what's happening inside the PokeMMO community, all your updates, things like that, catch events, shiny catches, and just what's happening with people. What are people up to? What are people hunting? What's the community worried about? What's the community happy about? What are they excited about? All that jazz. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. Thank you for joining me again today. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if not, and subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos. First things first, we have catch events to cover. I think it's something we kind of overlook sometimes. A lot of average PokeMMO players, it's easy to take for granted how amazing catch events are, in my opinion. Catch events are really fucking cool, man. Every two to three times a week, there's catch events where you can go catch Pokemon and have a chance to win shiny Pokemon, free RP, premium currencies, things like that. So on Saturday, the 22nd of November at noon ET at Route 5 in Unova, there is a Trubbish catch event where you can catch Trubbish, Solosis, Gothita, or Minccino, which different species bonuses. Minccino is -5, Trubbish +5, and the nature bonuses are +3 for Modest, +2 for Rash, -5 for Adamant. Yeah, someone in chat, another Iron Man, was like, I need to empty out my boxes so I can do this event. I'm the same exact way. A big thing I'm doing right now on my Iron Man account, the processing post-Halloween, is just cleaning out my boxes and doing a bunch of breeds. There's a shiny Trubbish up for grabs. If you have not, I love shiny Trubbish. Like a black garbage bag is cool to me. But there's also shiny Garbodor. Shiny Garbodor is kind of a secret. I think people know about it nowadays, but like for a long time, it was secretly an S tier shiny that nobody really talked about and kind of ignored. It's such a good shiny. Let's see if I can move this out of the way really quick. Shiny Garbodor. So I love this cyan with the orange and the green little blots. Such a good shiny in my personal opinion, and I think it was underrated for a very, very long time. So definitely check out this this Trubbish / Garbodor catch event coming up. Next up, we have a literal raid ready, meta raid Pokemon. You might not, think about it or realize, but Plusle and Minun are raid meta Pokemon, especially after that Mandibuzz raid. Plus is just such a powerful ability in raids where you can get a damage boost from 3 to 4 other Pokemon in the battle at one time. It's really powerful. So there is a Plusle and Minun catch event coming up on Sunday, the 23rd of November at 12 p.m. ET. So Saturday, Sunday catch events. This is at Route 110 in Hoenn. You can catch Plusles with a +5 Timid Nature bonus, +3 for Modest, and then Minun is the prize. Shiny Minun is the prize. Your choice of 2 moves, 3 supply Vs, make it 3 times 31. 31's attack, 31 speed, and Modest is probably your best bet for raids. And then 1,000 RP, free RP along the way. Why not? Next up, our shiny showcase. I'm trying to do more when it comes to shouting out the players and kind of congratulating you guys on your accomplishments and just supporting people who are playing the game, grinding, working on the game, and just putting their head down. And the real salt of the earth, the real PokeMMO community members who aren't always loud on social media, but are here to just play the game and have fun and do what they enjoy. And first things first is Rad CNR, who's in Team Rad. This is a crazy story because from my understanding, it was his birthday yesterday. I believe it was his birthday. It was either on the 17th or today. I'm not even sure, actually. It was either his birthday on the 17th or the 18th, so I don't know the exact date. My apologies, CNR. He used to be in Team Mister. He was super dry for shiny Larvitar. He went 9 phases for this sucker. 9 phases, and he finally fucking got it. He hunted this thing for over 325,000 encounters. That is very dry. And he got it, I think, either on his birthday or the day after his birthday. This is the most poetic. This is about as poetic as shiny hunting gets, and this is why I love sharing these stories. These are once-in-a-lifetime stories that just go by the way people forget or don't know about. Not everybody hears about them, right? This is someone who got their one of their dream shinies, I assume, on their birthday after 9 phases, that many dry. Shiny OT number 28 for him. Congratulations to CNR. It's so sick, man. Such a beautiful fucking story. And then next up, I just talked about this guy yesterday. He's still shunting. He's still putting in the work. Gira from Optic got himself another phase over in Petalburg Woods, phase number 4. This is his OT shiny number 56, and he got it at only 2,000 encounters. So good luck to him on his Trico hunt. Petalburg Prison has claimed many a soul, but that is a fantastic start to the hunt, dude. Congratulations. And then next up, just a difficult shunt. Everybody wants a Dratini. Who does not want a Dratini? It's a great shiny. Most people want a shiny Dratini at one point in their life. This is from TMKTM on Team ALYA, excuse me for not knowing the proper pronunciation. His shiny OT number 20, and he got himself a Dratini. Just a great one to knock off the list that a lot of people want. Congrats to him. And then finally, we have a wild caught Wild, this looks like bread. Wild caught 3 times 31 shiny horsey, and it's 20 plus in the HP. It just needs the 31 special attack, or sorry, speed. This is a crazy shiny. Beautiful shiny. 3 times 31 is super fucking rare, man. Congratulations. This is on to Hyperion Sean. Congratulations, dude. Congrats to all the shunters all putting in the work. Let's go ahead and get into the stream recap. I have work to do on the Ironman account. I think a lot of players right now are just doing pure yen money making methods, Jimmy runs, Trinity runs, things like that, building up our capital. Go ahead and put this on your second monitor while you grind some Pokeyen and PokeMMO and prepare for the Christmas event. Let's go ahead and jump into things, fellas. Thanks for watching. Yo, shout out to Smoke MMO over on Twitch, man. A member of Team Mister, dude, has himself a shiny TOEGETIC in the wild right now, live on stream, bro. It's pretty rare you get to see like a live rare shiny like that. Look, he caught it. He just caught it. 31 Spatak, you could hear him say. Or my audio levels are a little... I had to just get this up as soon as possible. 9,700 encounters. Bro, 9,600? Congratulations. I'm gonna give him a big GZ in chat, dude. Congratulations to him. That's fucking sick. I love seeing shinies live. Is just one of those like PokeMMO special experiences. It's fucking beautiful, man. Congrats to him. That's so sick. I think this is a really important sentiment, and I love newer or even like whatever, you know, type of player like I'm really figuring this out and feeling this sentiment. Gym Trainer says, I just realized how lopsided events are. I always say events are like so powerful. It's like the best way to play the game whenever holiday events are here. He said, in 2 weeks, I farmed 630-ish mysterious dust balls, which I can now sell for nearly 30 million Pokeyen. A typical Jimmy run gives 350,000 Pokeyen. So the 2 weeks of events was like doing nearly 100 Jimmy runs. And that's if I sold now. Imagine if I just hold and dust balls keep going up in price. Yeah. You have to think of holiday events as a kind of a shortcut, and as like they're so powerful and they're so like they're busted, they're OP, but they're only temporary. That's an important thing. Events are insane. The event hype is insane, and you definitely want to abuse them while you can, but you also can't. You have to be careful. You can't like, I think a lot of people get into the mindset of like, oh, this is the pace of the game normally, and that's not. You have to like go back to normal. It's part of why, I mean, a lot of people take a break. A lot of people take a break from PokeMMO. It happens every single event, every single year for the past 13 years, right? Most people take a break from the PokeMMO after an event is over. But even, you know, from just being burnt out and like being exhausted. But even beyond that, it's harder to come back to the game after playing at such an accelerated rate. You know, playing at such an accelerated rate and then going back to the normal pace, it can be a little jarring, but you have to make that push, you know? This is a good technical question when it comes to the XP Reamplifier. Pat, you're talking about how you wanted to XP train your Gendar. I was wondering, why don't you use XP Share on it while you Jimmy run? Is it because you don't have access to the item on the Ironman account? So, great question. I have access to XP Shares, but I also, because I was able to get so lucky and win a catch event on my Ironman account and get 1,000 RP, which is, you know, the most valuable item on the Ironman account is the XP Reamplifier, like one of the hardest things to get. And because why that's so important is because it splits the XP in a different way. XP Shares split it 50-50, right? So if I were, you know, if I were doing this fight with my Typhlosions and then I had an XP Share on my Gendar, half of the XP, 50% of the XP would be going into my Typhlosions, which are level 100. So that would just poof the XP into thin air. You would lose half the XP. That's just part of leveling with level 100 Pokemon. And then half of it would go to Gendar. With the XP Reamplifier, the XP is split 75-25 or 25-75. So only 25% of the XP gets poofed into the Typhlosions, and the other 75% gets put into the Gendar. So you gain 25% more XP by using a Reamplifier in this situation. Great question. This is a great question. What suggestions would you give to make the market more healthy? Something I've talked about to the end of the earth is the Pokemon market is not great right now. It's not good. It's not even not great. It's not good. It is harder to make. It's harder to make Pokeyen right now in Pokemon than it's been in a very, very long time. The Pokemon market is slow. It's rough. It's just not. It's not great. I'm gonna be honest. It's not. I mean, I hope it doesn't last forever. And I'm hoping that changes happen. I've said for a long time that if we don't see market updates or changes by the end of the Lunar event, I'll probably be taking a boycotts and riots and things like that and trying to get our voices heard, because I think it's really rough right now for players, for new players, medium level players, end game players. It's hard for everybody to make Pokeyen right now, like more than it's ever been, in my opinion, to a lot of degrees. So your question was, what suggestions would you give? The number one thing would be nerfing alphas. I think alphas need to be nerfed. We cannot be 1x31 dittos can't be the same price as Shido boxes. Like, that to me is insane. For reference, like a 1x31 attack ditto is 6,000 Pokeyen. If you were to sell that in a ditto box, you're probably selling it for, like, what's the cheapest ditto right now, I guess? Yeah, the cheapest ditto. So the cheapest ditto is 5K. When you're selling a ditto like this on the GTL, it's you're losing 1K Pokeyen to the listing fee. If you were to just sell that one ditto in a box, it would be the same price. Like, we've talked about this for years at this point, or for at least 1 or 2 years. We need to nerf alphas. Alphas are bringing in too many good IV Pokemon into the game too quickly and too easily, and it's hurting the value of lower IV Mons. On top of that, we need just more syncs for higher IV Mons potentially, as well as more demand. I think permanent raids would give us a really good demand for things. The reality is we need to nerf a lot of things and to make it harder to get 1x31 and good IV Pokemon, and that's going to make a lot of, like, the problem is right now you could flip the market in a different way and be like, oh, right now it's actually really good for new players because it's cheaper to buy Pokeyen. Right now it's cheaper to buy Pokemon, or not Pokeyen, it's cheaper to buy Pokemon. A lot of these are cheaper than they've ever been. Shiny Charms are cheaper than they've ever been. It's better if you want to argue like free-to-play stuff. RP is cheaper than it's ever been, so it's actually better to be a free-to-play player in those regards. There's positives and negatives. You can't just say everything's bad, you know, yada yada, even though a lot of things are bad, right? So there's positives and negatives. It is cheaper to buy Shiny Charms, cheaper to buy RP, cheaper to buy if you're a new player trying to build up, you know, good raid mons and stuff. It's cheaper than ever to buy good Pokemon. But if you're trying to make the Pokeyen to buy those things, it's really hard. And I think it's more valuable to have those things sustain and hold value. I'm ruining my Jimmy run, but that's okay. Then it's better for you to have to work harder for those things in the start and like actually develop a steady foundation of income and a steady like capital that you can use to make more money than have it be cheaper at the start and then the end game be fucked, which is like, you know, that's really bad, right? Does that make sense? So I think the main thing is nerf alphas, potentially adding syncs for end game stuff. Legendary syncs would be super important for certain things. And then to answer your question more directly, I'm trying to think. Potentially adjusting the, I don't know if inflation, I think deflation is generally the problem in Pokemon, not inflation, but it's hard to tell sometimes. I think the next thing would be potentially adjusting the tax on the GTL. So like right now, no, it'd be the opposite. Potentially to strap listing fees. If you strap listing fees, that's going to hurt the economy, guys. The problem is a lot of people like, they think the way to fix an economy is to make things easier on the player, but no, that's gonna make the Pokeyen value less. It's gonna hurt you in the long run. You have to, listing fees are really important. If anything, what you'd want to do is you'd want to I think Xanarchy's talked about this. You'd want to lower, either keep the base value of the listing fee the same or even lower the base value and raise the cap. So right now the listing fee, the lowest listing fee is 1,000 Pokeyen and the highest is 25,000. Why is the highest only, like the highest probably should scale up. If you're selling a mon for like, or an item for like 1 billion Pokeyen, that cap probably should go up to like 100K. You probably should raise the listing fee on certain things, and that's going to help sink Pokeyen out of the game and make it more equal and better for everybody else, right? So there's a lot of things like that. We have a lot of Pokeyen sinks and money sinks in the game. I would listen to what do the devs say? They have the numbers on it. I don't, right? Generally, inflation does not seem to be the problem in PokeMMO. It seems to be deflation. Inflation is because with inflation, it's the value of, if inflation was the problem, what would be happening is that everything would be going up in price and everybody would be having more Pokeyen, and like Pokeyen would be like your Pokeyen purchasing power goes down. So the more all the numbers would be inflated, but things would be going up in price to correlate with that. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is Pokemon and items are going down in price. It's deflation. It's not your purchasing power isn't going down. It's that your what's it called? It's that the value of the goods is going down. The value of the goods, the value of the services. It's kind of like, imagine if you run a maid service in a city, right? And then 10 other maid services all move to that city at once. Well, now you probably need to start charging. It's the value of that service is going down because there's more competition. That's the biggest problem in Pokemon right now is deflation. There's too many good IV Pokemon on the market, and there's not enough demand. Too many people have good IV Pokemon that come into the game way too quickly that they can sell for Pokeyen. We don't have enough permanent raids, permanent PVM, permanent demand for things. There are cool things you can build and cool things you can collect, but a lot of that is out of personal fulfillment versus like we need some sort of end game raids, end game PVM content that is there year round, that's constantly rotating, that is incurring that demand to meet that supply, as well as a nerf. You need to nerf the supply, increase the demand, right? Really basic. I'm not educated. This is really basic stuff, right? And feel free to disagree with me if I'm wrong, but let me know politely, please, is all I ask. I'm open to being wrong. I'm not very smart, you know, all these things. But my understanding is we need to lower supply and increase demand at the same time. So nerfing, that would be nerfing alphas and having some sort of PVM or activity that's in the game all year round that can that will have people needing to make good Pokemon. Wait, this is genuinely, if I'm understanding this correctly, this is genuinely one of the best ideas. Wait, am I crazy, or is this one of the best ideas I've ever heard when it comes to the Pokemon market and solving it? Someone said the devs should do what the RuneScape devs do and use the GTL tax to buy up Pokemon and delete them. Am I crazy, or is that fucking genius? That literally solves like both problems. Am I crazy, or is that I'm not economically educated? All I know is from fucking MMOs, you know, in my experience, that like that sounds fucking genius. Have some sort of automated system that just buys up good IV Pokemon. Now, the only problem is that that money would be going right back into the player's hand, right? So that's the problem, is that that takes the GTL tax and it does delete it as an inflation gatekeep from the game, because that Pokeyen would be coming back into the game. If it's being paid to the players, it would be coming right back into the game. So that's the problem. But once again, to my knowledge, we don't really have an inflation problem. We have a deflation problem. So like maybe what if we raise the GTL listing, not the base, like 1,000 at the base is fine, but like the scaling to where if you're something like super expensive, we raise the scaling of it and then have it be able to be used to buy. We need something that syncs Pokemon, something that deletes Pokemon. Yeah, it's really tough. No, there'd be a lot of ironing out and things you'd have to consider. Shaq brings up a fantastic point. I like the idea. That said, players would definitely try to find a way to get their listings bought by the automated system, 100%. There'd be a lot of things to iron out, don't get me wrong. And maybe they'd have to implement, either raise the GTL listing fee, the scaling, or implement some sort of other way. You have to implement some sort of other way to sync Pokeyen out of the game if we're taking one away. You have to have syncs, because otherwise, you know, think about every time someone does a gym rerun, they're bringing in 300,000, they're creating 300,000 Pokeyen, right? You have to delete that from the game in a different way. Otherwise, the value of that Pokeyen, you're gonna keep, if you keep bringing in more and more Pokeyen, the value of it's gonna go down. If you just keep, you know, if more and more Pokeyen just keeps coming in over and over and over for the rest of time, eventually people will smarten up in that. Yeah, so you have to factor in inflation. So I just don't know. I just don't know how much I bet you the GTL listing fee does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to counteracting inflation. But I'd almost rather risk having inflation problems and then fixing those in the future to do something about our deflation, because the deflation is what's killing us. The deflation is what's really killing us. So I'd rather like feel free to disagree. Respect. Please just do it respectfully. I'm just a human. I'm just a person sharing my thoughts, opinions in live time. We're gonna iron them out. I'm not right. I'm not sharing the only thing. I'm just talking here, okay? But I'd rather open up a risk to a different. I'd rather open up a risk to have a new problem and try to solve the current one. You know, it's just my opinion personally. Okay, somebody uploaded this video, and I want to try to analyze what happened or what's going on here. Okay. The title of the video is "Bug or Skill." Has my algorithm. Bug or skill issue is the title of the video. Okay. Let's just watch and see what happens. So he's in a shiny Ralts battle. The wild shiny Ralts use Hypnosis. Umbreon avoided the attack. Wild Ralts use Teleport. Ralts disappeared from the battle. Oh, I think I know what happens. I think this is a bug. So one of the Ralts teleported and disappeared from the battle, but the battle still shows 3 Ralts. But one of them teleported. So he goes to, that's actually, so what happens is he goes to crunch the non-shiny Ralts that still appears in the battle, even though it's teleported away, and then it crunches the shiny Ralts. This has to be a bug, right? That's really fucking tragic. Now it's easy to be like, oh, he should have had like an arena trap mon, but like, so then the other Ralts teleports away and the battle ends. So that, yeah, that's really unfortunate. That's really sad. You could make argument, you could victim blame here and be like, oh, he should have, like, if you had this mod off, or you should have, like, you could have seen that the other Ralt sprite isn't there yet. But it's still selectable. This is obviously a bug. I think some people will argue it's a skill issue. I think it's a bug. I think this is obviously a bug. It's a bug that maybe could have been played around or prevented, but at the end of the day, this is a fucking bug. It shouldn't have happened. What I believe he mean looked, I'm assuming, the Ralts to prevent it from running, and that was his. I think this is a bug. This sucks. The HP bars are still there. This is clearly a miscommunication of the game to the player. This sucks. I'm really sorry to this person. This is obviously a bug. It sucks. It's really sad. We're seeing more shinies than ever. That's really sad to say, but it's true. We're seeing more shinies than ever over the past year or two. Lose shinies to bugs. Well, the devs doing they are too busy. Generally, the devs don't compensate for bugged shinies, because if they do, they've had it in the past where people will try to fake, because of bad actors, people will try to fake bugs or fake clips or fake things to try to get free shinies. So it's very complicated. Sometimes they will break that. Sometimes they'll break the outlier and break the mold. Like they actually, there was the shiny Matang situation. Someone lost a shiny Matang due to a really dumb bug, and that player, we like rioted, and that player got his shiny back. But the problem is we can't do it every time, because then it's just, we're breaking rules, and then it's just I get why. It makes sense. It sucks. It's a shitty situation. I feel so bad for this player, but it makes sense why like they have to protect themselves from bad actors. It sucks that because some people are pieces of shit and want to like fake things for free shinies, they have to have rules like that. So it just sucks. So I understand the frustrations. That's really, really sad. Egoist, dude. Much love to him. It's a legitimately great question that I'm not going to pretend to know the perfect answer on. I have my opinion. So this is a Poker Force developer. Do you think the devs should compensate players in cases of bugged content? I obviously think yes. Yes, I think the problem is the pragmatics. Like we can morally say, yeah, of course that deserves that to be the case. But the pragmatics of, you open yourself to bad actors, and then you also open yourself up to having to like open up a case. If you want to start compensating players for bugged content, like bugged shinies, you have to start investigating every case from that point forward. That's really tough. The Matang situation was very different, because he had like thousands of people in live time watching the fight. Like that was, we got to see the battle live. That's the best thing. Honestly, if you have a bugged shiny, like try to get people, that one, like you just couldn't tell. Like, so it's a case by case thing. In the ideal world, of course, I want players compensated for their bugged fucking lost shinies. Of course, but pragmatically, can that work out with the resources that PokeMMO has? I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and I don't know. I'm not gonna say yes or no. I don't know. I wish it was the case. I would like it to be the case. That's the tough reality of the, it's tough. It's a tough situation. Yeah, this is strange. Someone is trying to apparently manipulate the price of Lava Hood. For reference, it's an RP item. This is a pretty like statically priced item. It's up 481% from 550k to 3.2 mil. You don't need to pay this price. You could just go, it's 500 RP in the gift shop right now. You could just go buy 1,000 RP for what's it called? For 1.8 mil, spend half. It's 900k. Yeah, 500 RP is 936,000 Pokeyen in value. You could buy this for 900k. Why would you ever buy it off the GTL for 3.2 mil? That's weird. I don't know if it's someone like just making a mistake, or like there's some other thing I don't know. That's strange. It's the market doing weird market things, but that's strange. Alrighty though, fellas, I think it's a pretty good place to go ahead and call it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you did, dislike if you did not. That's okay. I want your genuine feedback. Comment down below. Subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos. I do make videos every single day. I stream on Twitch and YouTube Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're interested in that. If you want to go above and beyond and support my content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations really do make the difference. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later, and keep enjoying PokeMMO. Peace and Reno, fellas.
Yo, what's up? Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.